Hello my darlings and welcome to Eargasms, an audiobook review show where we delve into the world of contemporary and indie books that make you go Each week I'll bring you audiobook reviews, recommendations, releases and all the goings on in the world of romance. Please note that all the books I review are adult content, so you have been warned. With that said, let's get on with it. Today's review is Give It a Rest by Laura Barnhard. Being made redundant is never a good thing. Especially when you're expecting a raise, you've practiced graciously accepting it without shouting out, "Yeah, motherfucker, yeah!" at your boss, only to be told, pack your shit and go. If you're Sadie and her ragtag bunch of feisty, sassy ladies, Steph, Lexi and Mags, you'll tell your boss exactly what you think of them, remembering all the unpaid overtime, sleepless nights, and total commitment to the job, and this is how you're treated? No way is Sadie going gently into that sweet goodnight. Picking up a stapler and holding it like a gangster holds a gun, she starts firing staples at the office job's worth, who has ridden her every nerve for the last 10 years. Well, there's no going back for them now, not after letting out the crazy. Months later, and the anguish of not finding a job and being on the breadline, mounting debts, Sadie bumps into the gang at the job centre. None of them have gained employment. Steph's now a single mum, Lexi's living with an abusive boyfriend, and Mads recently lost her husband, and adding insult to injury, she's now also fighting breast cancer. The desperation for money is evident. Growing up with a junkie mother and then in foster care, Sadie will do absolutely anything not to end up back on the streets. So, accompanying Mags to her chemo treatment, Sadie has a eureka moment. Wait for it, wait. To grow and sell marijuana to cancer patients. The gang are back together again. I mean, not having a single clue about growing, let alone selling, encroaching on a notorious drug dealer's patch is the last thing on their minds. Now add a hot cop to the mix. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? The narrator, Mandy Williams. This is the first narration of hers that I've listened to, and yeah, she has a really sweet voice, a great range when it comes to regional accents. The narration was a little slow for me, but as soon as I chose a different speed, it was perfect. I found some of her delivery a little bit flat with the emphasis on the wrong word, and the reflection at the end of some sentences a tad distracting. The author. Amazon best-selling author Laura Barnhard writes British, quirky, laugh-out-loud romantic comedy. In her spare time, she enjoys drinking her body weight in tea, cuddling dogs, matchmaking her friends, very successfully apparently, binging true crime, indulging in the power nap, and reading way past her bedtime. She's also one of the nicest authors at book signings and has some really quirky ideas for swag. I think the last thing I got was a tea bag, a key ring and a tenor lady. When I asked her what the tenor lady was for, she replied, "You'll need it because you're reading this book, you'll wet yourself." Genius. Sex scenes. The scenes in the book is on the milder side. Don't get me wrong though, it's still capable of lighting your fuse. If you like a little bit of raunch, this book is right up your alley. There are some really racy incidents that happen too, so don't expect the mildness of a Mills and Boon. Full disclosure, I met Laura a few years ago at a book signing and we've developed somewhat of a friendship. I'm always a little nervous reviewing books by people I know, just in case it's bad, and then there goes the friendship. But thank God this was not the case in this instance. The characters are really witty and outrageous as much as she is. I laughed my head off from the first chapter to the last. With relatable characters, we all know at least one person that's like these girls in the book. I'm totally Sadie. I'm the friend that weird things always seem to happen to. This is a must-read for any Anglophiles out there. They will give you a real taste of London. This is a comedy-filled crime caper that will have you in stitches. Think of the American TV drama Weeds mixed with the British humour of Notting Hill and Four Weddings and a Funeral. It's written in first person and leads towards romance more than erotica. No cliffhanger and an HEA, kind of. Running time is 11 hours and 30 minutes. It will be slightly shorter if you increase the speed. My ratings. Narrations 3.5. I enjoyed Mandy Williams' performance, but there were a few issues as I stated earlier. Sex scenes. I'd give this a rating of 3 stars. Sexy, but not over the top and definitely not mild. Story. This is a 4-star read for me. It's really funny and it ticked all the boxes for a good rom-com, and I love the play on words for the title. And that's it for this edition of Eargasms. Links for the book and audiobook can be found below. And if you have read it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which characters were you? What did you find funny about the book? Please leave a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe.